Hello, Krisztina Morvai. You are a member of the European Parliament. Can you introduce yourself?
Yes, hello, my name is Krisztina Morvai. I'm a member of the European Parliament. I'm a member of the Jobbik delegation from Hungary. Jobbik is basically a nationalist party, if I may say so. I'm not a member of the party, interestingly. I was an academic, a human rights lawyer, fighting for human rights of all different kinds of people, including nationalists, of course, and including those who were abused and attacked by the Hungarian police in 2006. I will talk about it later. And that's how Jobbik, this party, approached me and asked me to lead their list for the European parliamentary elections. And we got 15% in 2009, so the three of us became a delegation of Jobbik, and now we are here at the European Parliament.
The European Union is always lecturing countries like China about human rights, and the reason why you wanted to have this interview is to tell us that there are political prisoners in Europe and you are defending them. So can you tell us more about it?
Indeed, the situation is that in the European Parliament we always have one afternoon in each plenary session in Strasbourg. I was very excited when I first saw it on the agenda, evaluating the human rights violations. And then when you actually look at it, it turns out evaluating human rights violations in China, in Iran, in Honduras, in all kinds of other countries, except human rights situation within the European Union. As far as my country, Hungary, is concerned, I can say that there is a human rights crisis in terms of political rights, civil and political rights. I'm saying it from the point of view of actually a law professor. I am a law professor dealing with human rights, and I was a member of a human rights committee in the United Nations for 4 years. So I'm pretty much in the situation to be able to objectively evaluate what's going on. And this problem started mainly in 2006, in the autumn, when we had a Prime Minister, Mr. Gyurcsány, a member of the Socialist Party. The Socialists are those former Communist Party leaders who on Monday were Marxists and by Friday they realized that they wanted to keep the capital from Marx, and they privatized all the big factories, made the life of factory workers very difficult. They privatized the agricultural cooperatives and so on, and now they are the biggest globalists and neoliberals. So we had a socialist government, socialist liberal government, and the Prime Minister, who was by that time already hated by, I believe, 75% of the population, he came out or it was leaked actually that he had a speech which was basically a hate speech against his own nation. He used very obscene words when he was talking about Hungary and the Hungarian people, and he admitted that they were lying when it came to budgetary figures, when it came to economical details. They were lying, as he said, in the morning, at noon, and in the evening. And when this speech was leaked, tens of thousands of people went to protest in front of the parliament in Hungary. And within 3 days, there were hundreds of people in jail, and the government fully manipulated the general public about how did they end up in jail.
So can I summarize this? You're telling me you still have communists in power in Hungary, and that they are still putting people in jail like they did 50 years ago. And so what? How did the European Union react? What did the European do to get them out? I mean, European Union has always criticized communists at the time, and now history is repeating itself. And do we still hear them?
The European Union doesn't criticize them at all. They are actually best friends. They go hand in hand. because now they protect and celebrate the status quo, the neoliberal globalist status quo, and support multinational companies oppressing small company owners, family entrepreneurs all around Europe. So now they don't have any problem whatsoever with the socialist government in Hungary, which, as you very well summarized, use the same methods to suppress political enemies as they used 30 or 40 years ago during Stalinism, but they threw away all those social rights, which, frankly speaking, were good in communism, mainly the right to work and that you had a safe workplace for your life, basically, and as kind of a social network. These things, or social safety net, not network, but net. Basically now they say that these things, like having a safe job, having a decent salary, rights as workers, having some sort of security for average people, these are old-fashioned communist things. If you talk about rights of decently working people, as opposed to talking about the rights of bankers, for example, or multinationals, you are immediately accused of being a communist by the former communists, who used the same methods, who kept everything that was most horrifying in communism, like suppressing your political enemies with violence, with false accusations, with long criminal proceedings, with torturing them in prisons, and so that was kept, and social safety was thrown away.
I think you made an intervention at the European Parliament about this a while ago. What has your reaction been?
I keep making interventions and there's no reaction whatsoever, so we really need the support of the people of Europe, because these politicians, they don't really represent European people. I mean, if you listen to what they stand for, they have a completely different value system that really differs from the majority of European citizens, who want a completely different world. They don't want a world of this whole liberalized global trade in which they fly, food or whatever from one end of the world to the other, suppressing farmers at both ends of the spectrum. I think the value system we prevent or we protect as Europeans are completely different in the economy as well as in political rights.
But don't you think, I mean, they always talk about democracy